Everyone, welcome back to day 2 of our Behance portfolios. Today's goal is to have our work uploaded to our portfolio and then share the link with your teacher. So some things to note about Behance. Behance accepts the following files. Let's say you have something as a PDF instead of a JPEG. You can still use the project if you open up your PDF in a program like Preview or Adobe Acrobat and you file export it as a JPEG. As long as it's a JPEG or a PNG as a picture, you should be able to put it on your Behance portfolio, no problem. This document was created so you can kind of reflect on some of the assignments that would be appropriate to upload to your portfolio. These are the assignments you would have created your sophomore year. These are assignments you've made during lab, and including some of the things we've done during our remote learning journey, the things you might have worked on during content, and lastly, some of the Fun Friday or Fun Day Monday drawings we've been doing since remote learning started. Now, for your portfolio, we're asking for 10 pieces of work to be uploaded. Out of those 10 pieces, 2 must be traditional, meaning not digital, something you've drawn. Now, you can draw with multiple different mediums, but they shouldn't be done on the computer. If you want to add more than 10 pieces, wonderful. If you want to add more than 2 traditional pieces, awesome. But the minimum is 10 pieces of work with the minimum of 2 drawings or traditional things. Now, I'm going to show you how to upload to Behance. Let's go over to our Behance accounts, and this is kind of what your home screen looks like. People who are posting, I'm following, their work is there. Now, if I want to create my own stuff, there's 2 ways of going about it. I can hit Profile, or I can just hit Create a Project. When you do that, you go to the project editor, and this is where you kind of upload your files and tag them. Now, we're not just uploading, we're making sure we really take time to build our portfolio so that it is visible to other people and it's useful. So first things first, you want to upload a file, either click on this button or up here on the left. I have a document as an example, a wedding invite I did for a friend. I'm going to hit open. Now once it's loaded, you'll see that it loads up here. I'm going to hit save so it saves my progress. And then I'm going to hit continue. Now there's a few steps to this. First thing I want to do is show what's going to be cropped because unfortunately the whole image isn't going to be visible until someone clicks on it. So this is like the thumbnail version of it, okay? And we want the thumbnail to kind of make sense, so I'm putting it up on the top. I'm going to name the project Wedding Invite. Now bear in mind over here it has some image requirements, so you should know the minimum size is 808 by 632 pixels. If your document happens to be smaller, it will give you a red error message and you may have to go into another program and resize your document. Please just keep that in mind. Lastly, I'm going to hit crop and continue. Now there are 3 things that we want you to fill out to make your portfolio something functional. The first one is the creative fields. How do you categorize it? And this is something personal, but I would recommend at least putting 2 to 3 creative fields for everything you design. So I'm going to pick the ones that I think are relevant to this wedding invite. Once I'm happy with my selections, I'm going to hit done. Now these things are tagged. So if someone happens to look up graphic design, my wedding invite will fall underneath that tag. Next thing I want to do is tell whoever's looking at this what tools I use. So I'm going to hit add. And as soon as you start typing in the hardware or the software, because if it's a traditional drawing, you can just write pencil, charcoal, watercolor, something like that. I'm going to write what I used to make this invite. So I used Photoshop for some texture. I used Illustrator. And I used InDesign to lay it out. Right? You may have only used one program. That's fine. Just make sure you tag it with the program you used. Now the last thing, and the thing that's super important, or none of this will really work for you, is your display. Something happens where some people's profiles can be set to private, meaning only people you allow can see your portfolio. What you want to do is hit edit right here and make sure that this little drop down arrow says everyone, not private. If it says private, Mr. Tron and myself will not be able to access your portfolio and therefore we cannot grade it. So be mindful that it says everyone. Hit done. Now once you're happy, you can hit publish. Now publishing it makes it public to the world, right? And now if someone goes to my profile, you should be able to see my wedding invite. Okay? You can appreciate other people's work. You can see the tools that I did. See why it's important to tag it? Because people can see what programs and tools you use. Now you're going to repeat this for all 10 assignments, whether that's digital or traditional. Keep in mind 10 pieces of work, at least 2 traditional. When you are done, you want to send us your link again. Your link to your profile, if you hit profile, is right up here, this URL that says behance.net/, it should have your name. What you want to do is copy it, go to Google Classroom, and share that link with us. If you have any questions, let us know. Good luck.